Do you guys hear that sweet noise? You're right. It is the sweet noise of a tiller. It's finally time to till the garden. We're super excited, and I mowed my lawn today, so you know when you mow your lawn, you know it's spring. So I've got my poor husband down here taking care of our garden and tilling. So he's doing a great job. We burnt a lot. We did our burning, about a month ago. And if you guys didn't see that video, go ahead. There's going to be a card up at the top. Go and click on it. Take you back to how we burnt down the crops from last year that were left over so that we could give some nutrients back to our soil. So down here today, we're in our raised garden beds a little bit, guys. We've been hardening off seedlings, which I'll bring you guys in on that a little bit. We've gone ahead and direct sown some peas. You guys can see it's all pretty much cleaned out, but I'm getting ready to add some more compost because things like the lettuce that I've started, I should be able to get that into the ground. I should be able to direct sow it and be fine. So we get to put some more compost in. So you guys stick with us. So while he's getting that done, I'm going to go ahead, and you guys can see in here, everything needs to be tilled up. So for that, I actually have a handheld electric tiller. This bad boy right here helps me out a whole lot because with these raised beds, that's a really big tiller over there, and it'd run away with me in a heartbeat in this soil and probably take out a board or two. So I'm just going to be doing it by hand with this electric. And one of the awesome things about this handheld tiller, that the way the gears are set up in the actual tines down there, if anything gets stuck between the tine blades and the frame of the tiller, it stops and it doesn't strip out any of the gears or anything down there like that. So that's really awesome, because the one thing that I've learned about power tools is some of them are actually a lot stronger than we think and will tear themselves apart. So let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, we're back. We're getting ready to harden off our plants. You can see these guys have gotten leggy, regardless of rotation, putting them more in direct sunlight. So I want you guys to notice, up here we've got some really, really leggy broccoli. But down here, under our grow lights, we've actually replanted them in these solo cups and planted them deeper, and they're actually taking to that very well. So I'm hoping that we're going to correct that legginess by just transplanting them in something that's a little bit bigger, and we're planting it further down in so that it still has a chance to grow up and out. And we do have it under a grow light to kind of control that. So actually we're getting ready to bring these guys out to harden, so let's get to it. Okay, we're back outside, and we are actually out here because we've started our plants inside about a month ago, and they've done great. Our experiment with the water bottles was awesome, a great way to start out seedlings without forgetting to water them. But the one thing that I found with that is the cons to the actual experiment. So you only get about this much space to plant and germinate your seeds, but they outgrow that space very quickly. And if you're not on top of it and you don't have them under a grow light that's very close to them or in direct sunlight, they get really leggy. So for these guys, they've been started inside. This was the secondary self-watering system that we covered in our seed update 3 or 4 episodes ago. So here it is. We're actually out here and we're starting to harden it up. So what happens when we harden up a plant? So that means that I'm taking them out from underneath the grow light in controlled temperature and controlled moisture, humidity, everything in the room that they're in, and I'm taking them outside for an hour or two, and I build up that time of exposure so that it hardies up those seedlings, so that when it is time for us to plant directly out here in our raised garden beds or in our tilled garden, then they're not going to get shocked so much. It won't be so hard on them because you will find that if you don't harden them correctly, you might have seedlings that are a little bit more intolerant to that. So just be aware that they might need to be hardened off. If you're still like in the throes of bipolar spring like we are here in eastern Indiana, on the good days I bring them out to harden. On the bad days I kind of leave them inside. I might move them to a windowsill and open the window for maybe 30 minutes just to circulate some of that fresh cooler air so that we don't shock them too hard, but we do kind of build up their resistance to that. So that's where we're at on our seeds right now. We're hardening them up, and now we're getting down to the garden beds. All right, so we've gone ahead and we did everything that we needed back here. You guys can see Mark was great, got that tilled for the first time. Now that's just till number 1. We like to do it 2 or 3 times. And the reason for that being is this first go over is just kind of to break up the dirt, aerate it, and any of the organic matter that was left on top of it that wintered over and biodegraded and deteriorated, it kind of turns that into mulch and puts it back into the soil. Also, we did do the burning. I hope you guys checked that out on the card in the beginning of this video. But that also returns a lot of nutrients back to the dirt, because we take a lot out of this dirt every year, guys, and soil does need to be amended. You can take so much out of it to where it can't sustain life. It only has so much nutrients, so it's really important to return nutrients back to it. And the second till is just that. We're going to be taking a lot of our compost from our goat pen, and we have Mr. Leo Bun Bun who's been giving me a lot of rabbit manure, and we've also got chickens that are turning some compost for me right now in our pallet composter, which there's a card up at the top here, guys, for you to visit that if you want to know how to make your own pallet composter and how to get chickens to turn your compost for you. So the next go around, we're going to be getting a lot of compost in here, and that's why you guys saw me putting bag compost back here. I don't know how much of my aged and ready to use compost from the goat pen I'll be using in my bigger garden, because this is where we have a lot of the plants that have a bigger footprint. So we'll be doing pumpkins and watermelon, and those guys like to leach out and vine up. Those go really good in the corn too, guys. Right next to it, they actually will work as a weed block as they get older because they vine out, and you'll see their leaves are just monstrous, and they'll work as a weed block and keep the roots nice and cool in the high temperatures of summer. So those are nice vegetables to plant with one another. But because they take up so much and they grow so rapidly, they're the ones that leach the nutrients out of the soil the most. So I'll be doing a lot of my own compost from the goat pen in here. We'll till it up, get that in, and you guys might see over here we've been burning again, and I'm hoping to get more of that ash to put in here. Now, mind you that the ash that we're using is organic matter only. It's only been wood that's been pulled or cut because we're doing a little bit of work back here. We've got some plans with our land back there because it's just sitting back there and not really being used. So that is organic ash, and I can use that to treat mites on my chickens, give it to them for a dust bath, but I can also give it to my garden to return nutrients there. Now we do have like a burn pit, but that's like when we have get-togethers and people might throw wrappers in there, and we usually will throw that ash out. We do not use that in our gardens, and the reason for that being is the toxins and things that come from plastic. When it burns down into ash, if you put it in your garden, it's going to get rained on, and it's going to leach all of those bad things into your soil, and you might not have as healthy a plants as you would have if you had used organic ash. So I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. We're hardening out our plants. You guys saw that not too long ago. We're getting compost. We're getting everything prepped and ready. We're on to preparation 2, but I think we've still got steps 3 and 4 to go. So stick with us, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you found yourself enjoying it, please let us know that you liked it. Like the video. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you're doing in your part of the world right now for your vegetables in preparation and growing your own food. And more importantly, if you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe. We love to have new subscribers. I love to talk with you guys. It helps me out a whole bunch, and I appreciate each and every one of you that have stopped by to give us a watch today. So until next time, guys, thanks. Bye.